Hi everyone, my name is Dianne Fago and I do all sorts of art journaling, collage and junk journaling and things like that, and I do mixed media. And today I thought I would share with you just kind of where I'm at with my big collage journal here that I've been working on, and I shared with you just some of my process with working on the last few pages. And I'm getting ready to start the last 4 pages in this journal, and I'm super excited. And I've had some images picked out for a little while, and they've just been sitting on my area, and I've just kind of been letting them sit. And I have really been wanting to get started working on those pages so that I can get this journal done, get my next journal made, and start a new journal. So I thought that I would take you along with where I'm at right now with planning the next bit of these pages. So I'm going to go ahead and turn you around so you can see down at my work area, and we'll get started. I do not know what's going on with my hair, but that's there you go. That's what it's right now. Okay, so here is my collage journal, and as you can see, it is very full, very chunky. I only have these pages right here left to do in it, and I am getting really excited to get this finished so that I can start my next journal. And I don't know if this video is going to go anywhere or not, but I was looking at the images. I've had them laid out on my work area here that I'm planning to put on these pages. I've had them sit out here for quite a while, and I had kind of cleared everything off and had them laid out. I was looking at them, just trying to decide what I was going to do, what I was going to place on them, and things like that. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use what I have laid out, but I thought I would go ahead and turn on the camera and just kind of see what happens. So this can either be my mindless rambling about stuff, or something magical might kind of happen. So I don't know. So right now I just finished these, and I do have a couple of videos of me working on these 2 pages. So I did get these in my journal last week or so. So this is actually the last page. And I had originally planned on putting them here, and I even had the 2 images that I'm going to use here. I had planned on placing them here, but as I started working on these 2 pages, I really liked how it looked like she was reaching out towards this other girl, and so I did not want to have some sort of barrier kind of in between them. I just really liked the way that it looks like she's looking at her, and she's kind of she's reaching towards her as well. So I then went through and just found new images to place here, and I'm going to still use the same images that I had previously picked out. And what I have right now is something along these lines. Let me get them over here. And I haven't trimmed anything. They're just still, this is in the very, very beginning stages of these 4 pages here. So it's going to look something like this. So I will for sure have to cut these down. This is going to have quite a bit cut off the bottom to make it fit. And this one is going to need something along the side here. So I could place this on the edge and place something along the side here, or scoot that into the very center and have a strip of paper there. So this is where I am with the images. And let me get this out of the way. I don't know if this will be easy or not, since I can't zoom the camera out very far since I'm just using my phone. I have got this tray here that I've got a cart that has 6 of these trays on it, and I kind of it's helping me keep my different collage journal projects organized better. And I have one for these images that I've already cut out. Sometimes when I'm not sure what I want to place on a page, I will pull several images out that catch my eye, and I'm not really 100% sure if it's going to work on the page or not. A lot of times I am, but I still go ahead and cut out the other images just in case. But usually when I start something, I really feel, even though I've picked out a few, as I kind of start looking at them, I really get drawn to one specific image, and I can see it really clearly coming together on the page. But I'll still go ahead and cut out the extra ones just in case for some crazy reason that one doesn't work, if it's too big, too small, things like that. So I end up with these extra things that I've cut out, and it's kind of nice because then I have a little bit of a stash of images that I've cut out. But also I really enjoy just the process of cutting these out, and these super intricate florals, they get pretty crazy to cut out, but I really enjoy it. It slows me down, it slows my brain down. Like when I'm working on this and cutting it out, that is the only thing that I'm thinking about. And so it's for sure kind of a meditative process for me. So I really truly enjoy it. Some of them, these are actually a little bit easier to cut out than the ones like this, because these are so fragile. These are held together a lot easier with all because they're connected to the other pieces. Even this one, even though it's super intricate, it was still a little bit stronger to cut than these really thin, frail stems and leaves. So in this stash, I had both of these, and let me put this away. So this is kind of why I'm not 100% sure, because I had this and color-wise it matches, but I'm not sure if I want something this big on this page. I really like all of this white space here. I like the look of it. So I kind of, even though I really like how this image fits color-wise, especially since the purples match with her, but also these pinks match with her outfit. And I was maybe gonna put this one here. I could kind of see it laying across her back. Some of these going behind her arm, something like that. Not sure. Don't know if I'm just drawn to this because right now the colors work, or if while I'm looking through my book, if I am able to find something that works better. But this was just one of those random ones that I had cut out for something else, and it was on that tray. So this one here, this is gonna fall off. I'm tempted just to take it off because I know it's gonna fall off. And if I use it, I'm gonna have to move it into a different part of this image so that it can be seen, because I think it's gonna come off the edge. But I'm gonna move my journal out of the way so that maybe I can show you a little bit better how I kind of think this might come together. Not sure. And I have to make sure that you can see. I literally have to stand up on my tippy toes to see down in my phone to make sure that y'all can see okay. So these are gonna go like this. So kind of had a couple ideas with this one. If I decide to use it, not sure. And I have this text here, which actually, if I have it down here, that covers up almost all of the text that's on. I don't know if you can see that very well. All that text that's on there. It's white, but I can probably maneuver this a little bit so that it covers that up, which would be nice. So what I'm thinking, so something like this, then this one will go here, and it can actually kind of go around her hair, around her face like that a little bit, because this is going to be the fold of my journal and it curves so much. I'm going to have to cut probably some of this where the pages meet, so I can easily I can cut that and move this flower so that it still looks like it's connected here, but I can get it placed on my image a little bit better. I can also I will need to cut some of this off, either from this end and some from that end, so that will also change the way that this all places together. But at first I was thinking something like this, and maybe still keeping part of these flowers on here. But as I was looking at it, and since the pinks really match with this other image, I was thinking about cutting this here so that it stayed on this page, so that when the book's open, this whole bottom image will be on these two pages, and then these little parts of the sweet pea will be on this top image, kind of like this. So that would be how it would look. So I will move things a little bit, but it'd be something like that. So that's kind of where I am with this right now. I'm still not committed to this at all. This will actually go down a little bit. Not committed to using this flower, but I like the way that this looks, especially now that I'm seeing it right now like this. Well, I think I'm still going to look through my floral books really quick and see if there's something else that might possibly work. I do like this. I'm liking this more that I'm looking at it now again this morning, kind of with different eyes a little bit. I'm not sure about this one. I don't know if it's because I'm not sure. So as I'm looking through my books, I'm going to be kind of thinking about something that would work on these two pages, because I do like connecting the floral images so that they do flow from one page to the other, like that. So I will be looking for something to go on these two, and then something for this one. And let me get this out of the way. I'm going to keep these over here just so I got a little bit of a visual for color. And the books that I kind of have been grabbing for the most lately are this one right here, And I did get this at our half-price bookstore. Wow, it's a $42 book. I got it for $8. And I really, really love the images in here. They are very detailed and very delicate. I've used a bunch of them out of this book, and they do take me quite a while to cut out. I've used a big version of that. I've used a lot of them. I really like that, and I really want to cut that out. That's not going to be for this, but I am really drawn to cut that one out. So I'm going to set that to the side. But this just has some really, really beautiful florals in it. Whenever I first bought it, I had it sitting on my bookshelf for quite a while, and just didn't, I guess I just wasn't in the right place to where I knew how I would want to use the images in here or anything like that. But since I have discovered my love for cutting out these really, really intricate florals and weaving them in and through the images in my collage journal, I've really, really gotten to where I enjoy cutting them out. So this one would be fun to cut out too. I haven't cut anything out for a while, so I think that's kind of why I'm for sure getting drawn to some of these to cut out. This would be pretty. It's a lot more delicate. I'm gonna pull that out. That's a maybe. I can see this turned on its side and having it go from one page to the other. I'm going to cut this one out. Not sure. I'll add it to my stack here. I'm just taking an X-Acto knife and cutting pretty close to the binding. I don't know if I got it very good. That's really pretty. That's really pretty too, but I don't know about that right now. This would also work. This might be nice on this page. The stems match your dress, and then the berries are purple, and I could even take an alcohol marker and kind of shade those a little bit to maybe to match her dress a little bit more. I'll go ahead and I'll cut that one out too. Let's see if there's anything else that might possibly work. I've looked through this so much, you would think that I wouldn't have to look through it at all to figure out what I wanted to use next. But maybe that's why I always just start with this one. Okay, I'm gonna leave that open to that page. I don't think about that one, but I'm gonna leave it open. So another book that I have been getting images out is this one here. Let me open it up for you. I always save these little bits and pieces. So this is Wildflowers of America. Hopefully you can see that good. And these few images here are from this book. So the paper is definitely more yellowed. I don't know if you can tell by looking at this. So the images are more, well, besides it's an old book and they are vintage images, they look like vintage images as far as the colors are more, they're softer. They're not as vibrant. And you know, it's not shiny paper, glossy paper like this is. So these have a bit of a different feel to them, and they're a little bit more delicate to cut out because the paper is old, and I for sure have to make sure that my X-Acto knife is really sharp because it'll snag and pull on these if I'm not really careful. But it has a lot of really beautiful florals in it. A lot of them are kind of on the yellowy side because of the paper. They're not super clear either, real defined. They're still really, really pretty. I kind of feel like I want, since the other images that I have pulled so far are just, you know, the more vivid and defined image, I kind of feel like I'm not gonna really be drawn to anything in this book. The other bummer about it, excuse me, is that, you know, there's something on both sides. So sometimes I kind of have to choose. Yeah, I don't really see anything in this right now. Aren't those beautiful? This moved over. I'm not seeing anything from this that's grabbing my attention right now. So that is this book. And I got this ordered it online through Amazon, through one of their used bookstore places. I don't remember how much it was. I don't have the faintest idea. The other one that I love, let me move these out of the way. Try to put this down gently because it weighs a ton and it's a very huge book. It's huge. And I got this on Amazon also. Trying not to shake the table because the camera's connected to the table and this is so heavy. I got this also on Amazon, and this is actually the Spanish version, I think, because for some silly reason it was cheaper. It is an expensive book. I did pay about $56 for it, I believe, but I am able to justify that expense because it is loaded with beautiful images, absolutely beautiful images, almost on every single page. Even the beginning, at the front matter still has images in it that are usable, and there are see, 596 pages in here, minus a very few in the front. But besides that, it has an image on every side. So there's over 1,000 floral images in here for $50, $56. And I have spent, you know, money actually by this same artist on a calendar by him that was full of florals. And, you know, some calendars are pretty expensive. And so even $14 for a calendar and you're only getting 12 images. So this was $56 for 1,000. So I kind of went back and forth on it, on if it was worth it. But now that I have it, now that I'm looking at it, and now since I'm using florals so much in my work, it's totally worth it for me. So that is the book. And this one here actually came out, is by the same artist, and this is a calendar page. So that's why I looked up, I only had a couple images left from the calendar, and I thought, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Because I was loving using these images. And so I looked up his name, you know, on Amazon, and came across this book, and I thought, okay, well, there we go. So this is it, and it's got everything in it. The lilies, I mean, just all sorts of amazing flowers, and it weighs a ton. And the roses in here are just spectacular. So I don't know though if I'm feeling roses on this. I kind of wonder if maybe I'm set on using that sweet pea image after all. And actually that image has got to be in here. I could probably find it. And it might be a little bit smaller. It might work a little bit better in the space that I have on these pages. Because I know that I've seen it in here as I've been flipping through. I'm getting really caught up on the purple, and I haven't been looking for something to go with the other page. Hope you can see this all right. And I hope that it is staying in focus for you. I love lilacs. Morning glories would be pretty. I love them also. Well, don't know. What do y'all think? I really like how that, you know what, I've got, well, I don't know. I like how that looks like a heart. I'm gonna take this one out. I might possibly have a song lyric already that would go with this. Because I use song lyrics all the time. They inspire so many of my pages. And I've been collecting tons of them lately, but I haven't been finally actually getting them out into my journal, and I really, really, really need to start doing that. These are really pretty. Where's my... I'm just trying to see if maybe these would kind of all flow together. So I could alter this a little bit to change the color to kind of match her dress more, but it's also got the purples in it, the pinks that would go along with this side. I might cut that one out. That's a possibility. Let's see what's on the other side. Yeah. I don't see myself using plums or, yeah, anytime soon. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. That could be pretty because I could have some of these florals. I could have her standing in front of a lot of this, actually. Actually, what I could do, well, I would move this maybe a little bit to cover up faces, because there's a lot of faces in here. Or I could cut all of her out and place her on something on a different background, which I used to do that all the time in my first collage journal. I would cut the whole person out and place her on something else. And I used to do that a lot. And for some reason in this newer journal, I really have not done that. I've been using the images as they are with the backgrounds and then adding the florals kind of in and between them. So I'll leave this one out. I'm not sure why I kind of stopped doing that, but I did. And that's just the way it's been lately, so let's see. I don't know the official name for those sweet peas, so I don't know if I could, if I like went and really sat through, I might do that off camera, sat through and try to find the original of that sweet pea. That might be kind of cool though, because then I could for sure carry it on to the other page. It just being a smaller version of the one that's on the one side, or I could, since I'm not wanting to, since I'm thinking about having, since I like this white space, if I put the smaller version, let me grab it again. I keep on moving it back and forth. If I get the smaller version of this and put it on this side, then it can go into the larger version of this. A lot of it would be behind her since she is so big. But I could still kind of move stuff from side to side a little bit as far as cutting this apart and placing it over here so that it looks like she's in front of it. So much thought and overthinking into these pages, but anymore, that's just really how I go through these. Is I just have been taking it really slowly and bit by bit, and just really doing my best to slow down and enjoy just the whole process of working on these pages in my journal. I used to just really, I just plowed through them. And it wasn't that I didn't put any thought behind what I was working on, because I did, and for sure the feelings and emotions that were coming out in those pages were just as strong and thought out as these pages here. But I had it in my head always that when I started on these, that I had to finish it immediately. It was a start it and finish it all the way through in one go. And I believe that where that kind of came from is my kids were little and I didn't have a lot of time to work on stuff, and the time that I did have was always, it was limited, and it was rushed a lot of times because I needed to be there for them. And so I just kind of got it in my head that I had to like start and stop as quickly as possible. And I did that with all of my art, all of the things that I worked on, all the pages that I worked on. And they're teenagers now, so I have more time, and it has really helped teach me that it's okay to slow down and just enjoy all of this. So, I mean, I've literally had these images sitting on my work area for a couple weeks now because I just kind of wasn't ready. I wasn't in the right mindset to start working on them, and didn't have the time. It's getting to be back to school time. There's just been lots going on. I made a quick trip down to my hometown in Springfield, Missouri, to visit a friend who was there visiting her family, and she's actually living in Nairobi right now for 4 years. So I went down real quick since she was in town and visited her for a few days, and a couple other friends down there. And so it's kind of it's the crunch time of school year is getting ready to start. My full-time job is getting ready to start back up, so my time is going to be really limited. I can't believe that I can't find that image. I know that I've seen it in here, so I might look for that off camera, see if I can find it so that you guys are not bored looking at me flip through this. I know all these are roses, so, and I know that I haven't used it, that image. I don't think that I have. Maybe I have. I don't recall using it. I'm quite sure that's a sweet pea. All right, well, I'm going to get this big beast of a book off my desk. Oh, gosh. And we'll lay these out, see if I can get this so that you can see it all right. So, I've got something like that. I'm gonna save this one for later. I'm gonna cut that out just because I probably have that for a different idea. And the same thing with this. I'm just gonna cut these out because I feel really drawn to cutting both of those out. So I've got, there's nothing on the back of that. I usually check on the back to see what's going on. If there is a floral on the back, like on this one here, and it's something that I think I might use, I will cut around this front image as closely as I can. I don't know if you can see the petals in the background of this from the other side. I don't know if you can see that through the light or not, but there's actually some decent sized pieces of these leaves that will be left from cutting out this front image. And so I will cut this as closely as I can and salvage whatever I have of this image. So I can put the pieces in here. And so I seriously save all these little bits and pieces from cutting out these florals because it's really nice to have these bits of leaves, bits of flowers. Here's bigger images just that are full images mostly. But these are great because there are times when all I need is part of a leaf or part of a flower. Like here on my front of my journal. I don't think, you know, if I needed a leaf, I could take one of these and cut it out and tuck it, you know, right behind there. So, or if I wanted a piece of a leaf over here on these roses, they didn't always have, you know, some of them didn't even have leaves at all. So if I wanted that, I could cut it out and tuck it under there and use it. So that is why I keep all these little bits and pieces. Same thing with these roses. I do not want to cut out a big huge rose or big flower and have a bunch of it tucked behind someone and then all this go to waste. So I will cut what I need with a little bit to have glued under and then save the rest so that I could tuck it under a little one. That's just something that I always do. I don't like wasting stuff. I like trying to use everything that I've got. So that is why I really check out what's going on the other side. This one, there's nothing. So I'm going to, it's so sad. These have been sitting on my work area so long that they actually have like a little bit of dust on them. So the vent is right above my space here and they get dusty easily. So I'm just going to cut off some of this excess so that I can see a little bit better how this might look on this page. Sometimes it's hard to visualize how it could be on here when it's got all this extra clutter around it. All right. If I place this one on here, I would for sure go from, I'd do something like that. Excuse me. And I could start this back behind her leg on this part right here. So that would work. I would cut this vine off because it goes to nowhere and it's not needed. So that would help in that sense. Turn it this way. So this would work for sure. That looks a bit weird though because that's upside down. So I would need to do it this way. And this would be here. Some of this would go across her. I don't know. I still might cut this out to see because my mind could change a lot just by clearing all of this extra white space out. But I'm not sure. I kind of feel like this might be one where I'm just really going to need to cut a couple of things out and see what's going to work. And I don't want to rush it. Sorry, as I've got this paper flailing all around in front of the camera. Kind of trying to look, I'm trying to look in the background as I'm cutting. So there's what I was able to save. And I don't, mess with trying to cut them out perfect. I do save these because I think they're kind of cool. So I've been saving those in case I could tuck it in my junk journal or something like that. I just thought they were pretty with the words at the bottom. I just put those on my shelf where I have all my junk journaling type ephemera things stored. So this one could go on her somehow. So that's a maybe. Even with this flower here, I could cut that off and I could tuck it someplace else. I could do it something like that. would need to go down a little bit because I've got these stems down here. She might need to be cut out and placed on something else, because unless I end up with a different floral, because I don't really care for these faces behind it. But I guess it kind of depends on what I decide to what words I put. It might work with what I decide to say.
Motion detected at front door.
Wonder who's at the front door. Okay, so I'm going to leave those. I'm going to leave this with where I've got it. I'm gonna cut these few things out and just see how they look and how they work with these pages here. I think I'm still drawn to the Sweet Pea one. I keep moving it back and forth here. I think I'm still drawn to using this. I'm not sure. I'm going to cut this guy out here because it's a definite possibility. And it's going to make it look completely different than using this, that's for sure. I will for sure probably also maybe sit and flip through my big book and see if I can find this. I don't think that I've used it in here. It could happen. It could very likely, it could be in here somewhere. But I don't think that I've used them. I feel like I would remember cutting them out, since I have had that big image of this cut out for so long. But some of these I did quite a while ago, and they could quite possibly be in here. I don't think it's in here. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop right here and cut these out, and then I will be back just with another check-in to let you know how these are progressing, and then I'll just go from there, just taking this bit by bit. I don't know how long it's going to take to get this done, but it'll get finished when it's finished. I have some words that I think is going to start here with this one. With the others, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. So I will say goodbye for now, and I hope that everybody's doing well. And thank you for being here and for all of your support and all your comments, likes, shares. Please be sure to subscribe to me if you're not subscribed, and follow me over on my Ko-fi page. I am in the process of getting that going with having a lot of new content and information that I'll be offering through there on my Ko-fi page. So be sure to give me a follow over there. Always follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of sharing there on my stories with things as I'm working on things, and just different pages that I'm working on, and cutting out images and things like that. So I will let you go for now, and thank you so much, and everybody take care. I love you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.